this thing on? Test, test, test. That one person in the comments will be like, there's a hair on the mic. What's up? My name is Dylan. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you saw A, my short doc that just got released. B, maybe I talked about it to you in person and now you're watching it. Or C, you found me through the algorithm. It's pretty cool. I'm making this video because I wanted to share some of my experiences with making this short documentary. Basically, I made a short doc for a 24-hour film contest. Shout out Art of Documentary. The contest was to make a film in 24 hours, had to be 6 minutes or less, but that doesn't include like the editing side of it. It's mainly just the filming. I'm actually a cam op and editor full-time, so between work and like side projects, it is difficult for me because I'm doing a lot of the same things. I wanted to challenge myself though. I wanted to do something different, try something out, find a story to tell. That's usually my motivation for documentary filmmaking. And the point of this video is to showcase the behind the scenes. I had some of my friends film me during the process, a little bit of like what the prep looked like, what the production looked like, what maybe a little bit about what the post-production looked like. And lastly, I wanted to share some of the screening that we held. My hands are sweaty. I'll scooch over now so you can see what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna show some BTS. So basically back in October or so, I saw the opportunity to make a film, and that was through a little doc group, not so little anymore, called Art of Documentary. It's basically a group for creators and filmmakers to be able to make work, get feedback, show off cool stuff, get recommendations on things, and once in a while they hold contests. So they announced it, and right away I started doing some prep. I started looking for my subject. Finding a subject is hard, man. It's hard to look for people who have and carry like the same kind of passion or motivation to be on camera, let alone. So my goal was to find somebody who's passionate about what they did. I wanted there to be some type of visual interest for the doc. And most of all, I wanted to find somebody who was like on the same page as me, more or less, like somebody I would enjoy being around for the next, 2 months or so. Those are my core things that I was looking for, but that's a tall order. I ended up making an Instagram post trying to find a subject even, which I recommend. If someone's interested, they're gonna reach out. But then my girlfriend, Emily, she recommended to me to reach out to this guy named Sam. Sam is a rock climber. Sam is a badass. He is so cool. I saw that he had a GoFundMe raising funds for his cancer treatment. And a big part of the doc was to find somebody who was kind of like in the midst of something. Once I eventually reached out to Sam, it was like a no-brainer. We talked for like a few hours during our initial Zoom call. The Zoom session timed out twice. That's how long we talked for, which I don't know why I was using Zoom. We should have just went to Google Meet from the get-go. I feel like it was so natural. It felt so very organic, and I liked his personality. I've only heard good things about him, so it felt really cool to find somebody that was so willing to be vulnerable about like all the things that they're going through. I think that's another big thing about finding a character or subject, is like finding somebody who's willing to go to the dark places as well as the happy and fun places. So overall, after that initial meeting, I feel like Sam and I really connected on a lot of things. He was checking off the list of someone who's passionate about what they do and what they're doing. Awesome personality, so cool, so fun, so interesting. There was a visual interest with rock climbing, and he's also obviously in the midst of this cancer treatment and going through the trials and tribulations of figuring that out and asking himself questions. And there was a clear mental journey and there was a clear physical journey that I could possibly line up. And then I moved on to the prep. This is like what they draw with on Disney Channel. I wanted to spend as little as possible for this film. I think I ended up spending close to $300-400, and that was just towards gas, food. One of the first expenses was with a nice pre-production software like Milanote, not sponsored, but could be. I made my own template, and I mean, the main boards that I made for that was just like contest rules about the film, the story. Basically, I wanted to like have a place where I could go to and like just visually see the outline of the film or like what I needed to know. And then I can also invite collaborators on there too to see like, here's what we have so far, here's our temporary schedule. How I like to do it typically at this point is to make a nice outline based off of the phone calls that I've had with Sam. He would then say like, yeah, that's possible, or man, maybe not, maybe we can go this way or something. So I think that's an important part, is like making your character a part of the process as well, because at the end of the day, like, they're supplying the story, they're supplying the journey, so it only makes sense for them to have a lead on that journey too. I made a nice little storyboard to an extent of what it might look like to make something like this, and the key things that I wanted to highlight. Or you can do whatever, you can make your own outline, you can make it on Google Docs if you wanted to, but I like having those extra little visuals, those extra little nuances. You can even put music underneath the board as well. And so it's like, during this initial moment I wanted it to sound like this, during this next beat I wanted it to sound like this. And it was really cool to like show Sam that, so that he could be like, okay, I see what you're saying, I see what you're getting at. And Milanote was really helpful, honestly. And $10 for a month, like the contest was only a month long, so like $10 for a month was a no-brainer. So after the pre-production process was done, I think it was like the week we're about to film, and then we saw the weather report.
A strong winter-like storm is making its way into Southern California right now, bringing the threat of heavy rain, damaging winds, and even hail and flash flooding.
There was a huge rainstorm coming to LA, and this was like a big one. Like, this is like a proper storm. We don't get like proper storms in LA all the time, so this was a big deal. We had to kind of redirect our attention a little bit. That was tough. So the original idea in the prep was to go and film Sam hosting a rock climbing like competition outside, like on actual rocks with like actually bouldering. I envisioned it as like a nice sunny day, you know, we're out there sweating, getting things done, and then I would also follow him as a part man and so on. And so that got thrown out the window. We had to redirect a little bit and figure out what we could do alternatively. Luckily, Sam is awesome, and he somehow finds the time between chemo sessions to host and volunteer and like help out with climbing communities around LA, which I think is awesome. He told me about this community called the Asian Climbing Collective, and they were gonna have a climbing session with a bunch of people. It was a big thing, a bunch of brands were gonna be there, giveaways and things like that. Karaoke at a climbing gym. Ever heard of karaoke at a climbing gym? Me neither. And so we decided to switch gears. This is my first interaction with Sam in person, so there was some nerves for sure with us like just showing up with cameras, but we tried to like walk in there, put our gear down, shake hands, get to know people first, get the lay of the land of the rock climbing gym, see what we can work with. And then we started introducing the cameras and testing, you know, some shots. We only had a few hours, so we had to kind of be quick from there on out, but everything was so smooth. I feel like it was really cool to be able to try things out in that way and have the freedom to do that. So thank you to Long Beach Rising. Appreciate you guys, and the Asian Climbing Collective. That was really cool. So that was the beginning of our time. As soon as you press record on the camera, that's technically when your time starts, I guess, for the contest. And so we were only there for about 4 hours or so, and then we went home for the night, slept, and then woke up about 8-9 hours later to go to Sam's apartment. We got some amazing shots there. Sam in like his home environment. Yeah, I just wanted to get like a nice introduction to him, get him at home doing his thing, and I would have loved to go more in depth and get more shots and do this and that, but I think just time didn't allow for a lot. So I think we made do with what we could, and we got some really cool shots out of it. For the camera nerds out there, we got to use some awesome Atlas Mercury lenses, which were really fun. Shout out to Atlas for hooking that up. Yeah, these lenses were so nice. They were so clean. They were so weird looking too. I love like an anamorphic look, and so that was part of the doc process. I wanted the doc to look a little different. I thought like the anamorphic style kind of matched the distorted perspective perhaps that Sam was seeing or feeling. And I thought it was a fun way to experiment with something different than just like a regular zoom lens or whatever. Another part of like the filming process, Sam told me that he basically just wanted the doc to feel authentic. He didn't want the doc to be this thing that was like felt manufactured or like not true to life. And so I made sure to follow that, make that my guiding light. I only had 1 week to finish the doc at this point, but I did a lot of prep. I did so much prep. One might say too much prep, but one might say just enough prep. After filming at his apartment, we moved on to filming outside in the rain, and that was scary. We went to Stony Point, and what was supposed to be a nice sunny day at a nice cool bouldering location was a wet place to be. I had my buddies Jared, Aldous, and Steven help out with production, producing, and camera operating and things like that. Yeah, I couldn't have done it without them, honestly, so thank you guys. Shout out to my girlfriend as well, Emily. It was cool to just to get like my favorite people all together. Luckily there was like nobody there, and so we got some really cool shots of him walking through the rocks, and just like we got to play around with a slow-mo camera from D Haven Rentals. Thank you so much to D Haven as well. This camera is insane. I believe it was the Ember S5K, and that thing can shoot in like 1,000 FPS. I was like, what am I going to use that for? Originally, I wanted to get some slow-mo shots with my FX3, but I feel like it was just like overkill to go to 1,000 FPS. And it is such a unique experience. It feels like you're shooting on film because you don't want to use up all your memory, so you're pressing record for like 2 seconds, because 2 seconds turns into 30 seconds. We're using it sparingly and getting some really awesome shots there, so that was such a cool experience to experiment with and to just kind of try something else out, make it look a little different, make it look a little weird. I feel like the rain paired really well with the voiceover that Sam was giving, and so I feel like it was a perfect blend of events, I think. So after we were done filming, in total it was like around 16 hours that we filmed that whole thing. And yeah, we went from the climbing gym, Sam's apartment, to Stony Point. And after that, I got to offloading. Yeah, we filmed so much in so little time. And now was time to get to the editing portion. I'm only going to touch a little bit on the editing process, but it took about a couple days to edit this thing because of the prep that I did in advance. Once I got the doc together, it came out to be a little over 5 minutes. I immediately sent it out to people I trusted. I sent it to the Facebook group that we're part of for Auto Documentary just to get some feedback. I sent it to some trusted filmmakers that I love their work, so I thought I'd get some advice. I think everybody had a hand in helping to shape the vision. In total, I did like 3 or 4 revisions. It all led to this moment.
On the wall, Lloyd. Congratulations.
We won an award for Best AOD Collab, and then we won a nomination as well for Best Film. And so, yeah, super thankful to Art of Documentary. Everyone over there is so creative and talented, and being able to be part of something like that was really cool. So I really appreciate that. So next, we basically held a screening for the doc in person this past weekend, and that was so fun. It was so cool to see so many people. I've never seen a theater filled up with so many people for a film that I was a part of, and it was just so cool. Most of those people in the audience were all ride or die Sam fans, and so to show them a film that I made about their friend that they love so much, it was just like so cool to see their reaction and to feel so much love in the room. There's so much love in that room. Yeah, it's such an awesome, unique experience. Held a little Q&A. I was a little nervous, but I think I was just talking from the heart, you know? Talking from the heart, as I do. Thank you to everybody who came out to the screening. At first I was thinking, I don't know, I just felt bad that it was so short. But once I was there and once I experienced it, we went over the time. We filled it up with so much to talk about. I would do it again. And shout out to April from the Lamley in North Hollywood. She was so nice and so sweet. And also the general manager guy. It felt like we were just invited into their home and they like gave us the lay of the land. April put out some extra chairs for us. Like it was such a nice experience. So if anyone's interested, go hit up the Lamley in North Hollywood. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you got this far, far. If you got this far, thank you so much for sticking around. It's making films, and especially documentaries. It's a privilege. I don't take it very lightly. I think that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to make cool things, and being able to present them in front of people and share an experience like this is something I'll always remember, is one of the reasons why I like to do it in the first place. So if there's something that you want to make, you should definitely go do it, because you never know what can happen. You never know what can happen until you start, until you make something. But it was fun to work on that creative muscle of making a documentary or making a project of my own again. I got to meet somebody that I may have not otherwise met if I didn't start this process. Sam, such an amazing person, such a beautiful soul, and I can't wait to see him recover. And I can see this guy doing like TED Talks. Like, he literally just told me he got back from a rock climbing trip, and then the following day he went and got chemo. Like, what? Like, you're something else, man. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to all the people who are watching the video right now. Appreciate you. Yeah, I hope to make more awesome things like this in the future. And if you want to see more behind the scenes or more things like this, please do the things, do the like, do the follow, do the subscribe, do the whatevers. Also follow the amazing people who helped me out on this. I'll link to them in the bio. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch the doc yet, I don't know what you're doing. You got this far in the video and you haven't watched the doc. It's right there. Go watch it. Yeah, this was such a fun experience. I really appreciated it. It's hard for me to do these types of things sometimes because of my energy levels that I have. I work a lot. I try to maintain relationships, fitness, health, just like live. But then I work on projects like these, and I realize that there's people out there going through so much worse, going through so many more obstacles and more hoops to jump through. And it makes me feel grateful and appreciative that I have the abilities right in front of me to do something like this, to make something cool, to make something inspiring. Working on projects like this made me feel so much more energized to make and create. And that's what I want to do at the end of the day. So gotta keep doing it. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know. I mean, let me know if you want to see more stuff. Let me know. But I'll catch y'all later.